Good morning and happy St. Nicholas Day. Yes, it's St. Nicholas Day. He's a third century bishop, okay, uh, who was known for his generosity. Let's just say that. Uh, and he sort of sets the pattern for Santa Claus and things like that. So it's St. Nicholas Day. Everything you read about St. Nicholas, uh, Turkish bishop, is pretty cool stuff. Okay, and not really associated with Christmas, other than this is the day he was born or died or is observed, and it's close enough to Christmas to. He would put gold in the shoes. People would get wet shoes, and they'd put their shoes out on the front porch. And if a family was so poor they couldn't afford a dowry to get an already rich person to buy their daughter, he'd give them the money for that. But anyway, that's beside the point. I've been enjoying, not as much as I'd like to or have the time to, but I've been enjoying the presentation, if you will, or at least the semi-presentations of the various degrees of the Scottish Rite that have been organized and filmed by my brothers in Missouri, the Scottish Rite Masons in Missouri, and they've gone to the trouble to enact or at least exemplify the landmark degrees of the Scottish Rite. And if you're not familiar with what might differentiate a Scottish Rite initiation and say the Blue Lodge of Freemasonry or the Golden Dawn or the OTO, is that the Scottish Rite rituals are like wonderful dramas with sets and flies and elaborate costumes, and it's a drama that's played out to teach the various lessons of the degrees, and they're based on Masonic themes and such, and they're just absolutely beautiful. And as they're going on, you're sitting in the audience with your other brothers, all wearing your caps. Okay, if you're doing this at a reunion, and you listen to it sort of like music. It's not something that you're obliged or expected to be dissecting Kabbalistically or anything like that. It's a drama. It's magic in and of itself, and it got me thinking about. Well, this isn't overtly magical. I'm wearing my Scottish Rite baseball cap here. It's not overtly magical, but all drama is magic. And in the Wiser Best of Equinox series that I was asked to curate and edit, I think it's volume 2 of it. It's a dramatic ritual. Magic is dramatic ritual, and I picked things, essays or sections of the Crowley's Equinox series as part of that series of books. but it's got me thinking because I love the movies. Okay, movies saved my life when I was a kid. So at least saved my sanity or made me insane in a socially acceptable way. And I enjoy a good movie. It doesn't even have to be a subject that I enjoy or a genre I enjoy. If the movie's good, if the acting is good, it does its magic, and it does its magic on me. So I have to kind of be careful about what I allow myself to be affected by. I have to choose my movies carefully. And sometimes I don't do that. And especially with all the wonderful, made for streaming movies that are out there. After dinner, and when Constance is getting ready for bed, and I'm watching movies on Netflix or HBO or something I figured out how to get for free. I'll watch something just bizarre like this marvelous series called Babylon Berlin. Okay. And it's just wild and crazy. And there's just episode after episode and I'm putting this in me, and whether I know it or not, I'm magically kind of programming myself to this magical play. And about a month ago, I watched a movie before bed, before I go to sleep. I watched Bone Tomahawk, which has to be the most disturbing movie. And it doesn't make me have bad dreams or anything else, but who knows what the fuck it's doing to my psyche. So all magic, all drama, all theater is magic. When you cast a circle and do simple rituals, you're doing drama. Okay. And part of my introduction to if I can find that spot, drama is magic. In fact, it's the oldest form of magic. We see elements of prehistoric dramatic ritual painted on the walls of caves and scratched upon the bones of extinct animals. Tragedies and comedies of the ancient Greeks were written to be entertaining and thought-provoking, but first and foremost, they were religious observances. Celebrated, get this, in the temple of Dionysus. So when you go to a theater, okay, and you see a stage, and there's a curtain above the stage, but in the original format of the stage, it was an arch, and there were like two pillars on either side of the stage and an arch over the top of that, called the proscenium arch of the temple of Dionysus. And that's that third wall that separates the audience from the actors. And in Greek dramas, the chorus tears down that wall and addresses the audience directly to the play that's happening, the magic that's happening back there on stage. Shakespeare uses that device before Henry V, which is a story about a huge battle and kings and England meetings, France. I mean, can you imagine trying to tell that massive story of that epic battle on a stage which is like 30 feet by 20 feet deep, you know? And so the chorus, the guy comes out at the very beginning to draw you into the story and to tear down that wall for a moment and speak to the audience directly. And he comes out and he says, "Oh, for a muse of fire." You know, and you go, "Wow." And he gets your attention. And he says, to give me the eloquence to turn this stage into the battlefield and stuff like that. It's a religious event, and it should be taken. It should be taken with awe. Okay, where did I go? We may not think of them as such, but the stage, the screen, even the television are magical temples. As we watch and listen, we become living triangles of evocation. You know, you evoke a spirit into a triangle. Well, the drama evokes the spirit of the magical story being told into you. Even if it's bone tomahawk, okay. As we watch and listen, we become living triangles of evocation. Laughter, tears, and terror are literally evoked into us by the magic of the play or film. The magical potential of drama was not lost on our ancestors. Knowing that only relative few individuals of every generation are emotionally and intellectually equipped to master the natural spiritual sciences, the Hierophants of the past discovered that it was yet possible to bring a significant level of enlightenment to the masses. It was very important, for instance, for the working population of ancient agrarian cultures to know the best times to plant and to cultivate their crops. However, for most of the labor force, it really wasn't important or even helpful to understand the chain of astronomical events that affect the change of seasons. It was far easier and, on one level, far more accurate and truthful to personify the forces and facts of nature as gods, and then make those gods characters in a simple and unforgettable story or play. In the case of an agricultural drama, the story might simply be intended to reveal the lesson that it is best to plant in the early spring rather than in the autumn. Okay, I'm really generalizing there. A greater spiritual potential of dramatic ritual lies in the fact that as individuals, each of us can actually become the main character in a sacred drama. This is the method of initiation practiced by mystery schools of the past and initiatory societies of today. The ancient mystery schools were not so much schools of instruction, rather they were schools of experiences, dramatic experiences, skillfully designed to induce profound changes in consciousness to a large number of individuals. Tradition informs us that the technique of mystery schools achieved its highest level of perfection in Greece from around 2000 BC to nearly 300 years into the Christian era, when the agricultural mysteries of Demeter and Persephone were celebrated within the walled citadel at Eleusis. So strict were the oaths of secrecy imposed upon initiates that we are still not entirely certain what went on in the ceremonies. We know from indirect sources that once the initiatory cycle began with a purifying bath in the sea at Athens, followed by a ceremonial march from Athens to Eleusis. The secret activities took place over a span of days and included sacred food, drink, music, dance, and dramatic vignettes. Most of the events were performed before a large assembly of participants, but the climactic conclusion was conferred privately, one candidate at a time. Modern scholars point to evidence that prior to this sublime moment, the candidate most probably was given a psychedelic substance to eat or drink. Whatever their technique, the Hierophants of Eleusis succeeded for over 2,000 years in effecting profound changes in the consciousness of countless thousands of individuals. Individuals who, after their initiatory experience, proclaimed with great conviction that they would never fear death again. And I'm not sure it was bone tomahawk. After seeing bone tomahawk, you're afraid of everything. Okay. And anyway, think about that. And also think about the incredible misuse of mediums such as this for propaganda purposes, and how great cultures, whole civilizations can fall under the spell of the most selfish and insidious forces that are in control of the drama. Until tomorrow, for Saturday morning cartoons, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.